Hi there, welcome to my kitchen. My name's Molly, and today I'm going to be sharing with you 20 summertime crockpot recipes. I am going to link recipes to everything in the description box, so when you see something you like, just head to that description box and it'll take you to the recipe. I hope you love these 20 crockpot meals. We use the crockpot a ton, especially during the summer, because I do not like heating the kitchen up to cook a meal, and we're very busy. So having these ready to go when we get home at the end of a long, busy day is just a lifesaver. So let me share with you these 20 perfect for summer crockpot meals. So I have been doing a lot of pork loin in the crockpot. So I'm first gonna add in an onion. I'm gonna slice it all up and break it up into the bottom of the crockpot. And then I'm gonna add in my applewood smoked pork loin, and I love this seasoned pork loin. You can get your own that is not seasoned and season it to your liking, of course, but I love this one, and this is so easy. It comes out so great. I'm gonna cook this on low, but I'm gonna cook it for 6 hours, not on 8. My crockpot doesn't have a 6-hour low setting, so this is how it comes out, and it is delicious. Serve it with a side of your favorite veggie and rice, and you are good to go for dinner. I just love the pork loin. So now I'm going to do some ribs. The ribs are so great during the summertime, but I don't like being over a hot barbecue when it is so hot outside. So cooking them in the crock pot turns out really good. So use your favorite kind of barbecue sauce and just pour it on to that rack of ribs in the crock pot. It does not get any easier than this. And I'm gonna set this on low for 8 hours, and when we come home, these ribs will be ready to go and they will just fall off the bone, which is exactly how I like ribs. I do not like it when they're not fall off the bone. So here they are after cooking all day, and they are very tender. So I have to be a little bit careful pulling them out of the crock pot so that it doesn't totally fall apart, because like I said, they just fall off the bone and it just turns out so great. So you can pull these out, slice them up. You can add a little bit more barbecue sauce if you'd like, and these are just really great and perfect for summertime. They're just like the classic summer food, but cooking it a little bit differently in the crock pot. So I just love having these, and we're just a huge rib fans. So these come out really great. So I'm going to do a chicken recipe. We do a lot of chicken. We just love chicken in our house. But I have 2 chicken breasts diced up. I have some minced garlic. I'm doing 1 tablespoon. And this is going to be an Alfredo chicken. So I have this Alfredo sauce that I'm going to pour in. And this is our favorite, so use your favorite Alfredo sauce. I have some grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to do 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. It just gives this a really awesome flavor. And I'm going to give this a mix. So I'm also going to add in our veggies for this one as well, which I just love having everything in one crock pot. So I'm going to add Brussels sprouts to the top of this, and dinner will be totally done when we get home at the end of the day. So I really like that. So Brussels sprouts are one of our favorites, and they cook so well in the crock pot. So I'm adding our favorite seasoning on top. I'm going to cook this on high for 6 hours, and then this will be ready to go. Really awesome. And like I said, I just love cooking the vegetables together with the chicken, and you have a whole meal ready to go. I also cooked some pasta for this because I love the sauce of the chicken with noodles or rice. So this is a really great dinner to have. And like I said, the vegetables are so perfect in this one. Really great combination with Alfredo sauce, the chicken, and the Brussels. I'm going to be doing some chicken thighs. We have been really liking chicken thighs a lot lately. So I'm going to do a chicken chili. So, and it's gonna be a white chicken chili. So I have 2 cans of this salsa verde, and I'm gonna pour that in. It's just a mild salsa, but it's very delicious. And you might not think of chili in the middle of the summer, but this is so, so good, and I just cannot get enough of this chicken chili. So I'm adding in my beans. I have this frozen Southwestern mix. I'm going to use a cup of chicken broth, and I'm going to give this a quick stir, but this is a huge, huge hit with my whole family. We love this, and it cannot be easier. You just dump everything in and you're good to go. Super high protein, which we love that also. So cooking this on low for 6 to 8 hours, and then this chicken will just shred apart as you pick it up with the tongs, or you can take it out and shred it on a plate or a bowl. But I'm just gonna shred it here in the juices of everything. And like I said, it just falls apart. It is so tender. You can use chicken breasts for this as well, but the chicken thighs, they're just really, really good. So we love using chicken thighs in chicken chili. So I'm going to add in now a brick of cream cheese, and then I'm going to put the lid back on this and let it cook for another hour to let that cream cheese melt, and this will make this nice and creamy and rich and so, so good. This is a huge hit. I get requests to make this whenever anyone comes over. They want me to make this white chicken chili, and it is just so good. And so now I'm going to stir in the cream cheese, make it nice and creamy. Just going to keep stirring and stirring until that cream cheese is all broken up, and eventually it'll just be nice and creamy, and you'll have the cream cheese chunks in there. So this is so, so good. I'm going to put in our bowl, and you can serve this with a side of cornbread is really great with this with the chili, so just a really awesome, and also side salad is great too. So I'm going to do some chicken again. So this is going to be my French onion chicken, and so I love this one. It has so much flavor. So I have a Lipton soup, onion soup mix packet. So I have 1 can of cream of chicken. You can use cream of mushroom also. And then I have my Lipton soup mix and 2 cups of chicken broth. So I'm going to give this a stir and let this cook. I'm going to cook this on low for 6 hours, and then this chicken will be ready to go. And it has so much flavor, and I just love the gravy that it makes with it. So, so good. And like I mentioned, I love having like a rice or pasta with these gravy dishes. It just really is good. So once I get this onto my plate, I'm going to add some of the fried onions, and these really just make this so good. They have so much flavor. The crunch is amazing, and this dinner is a really, really big hit. I love it, and it makes leftovers too, so that's good for lunches. So I'm going to do a meatball recipe. We are huge meatball fans, and they are so easy. I just get this big bag of frozen meatballs. So I'm going to be doing a Swedish meatball. So I have my cream of mushroom soup. I have some beef broth that I will add in, and you can definitely make your own meatballs, but these frozen ones, they turn out really good in the crock pot because they sit in these juices and this gravy all day and cook, and they become so tender and really, really flavorful. I added in 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and I have a packet of brown gravy mix. So this is just a delicious one that I just love to make all the time. I'm going to add in some other seasonings. Garlic powder, of course, is just a great one, and then cornstarch to help thicken up this sauce. And just any kind of gravy sauce, like I mentioned in the last recipe, I love. So adding in some cornstarch, you can do 1 to 2 tablespoons depending on how thick you want your gravy to be. So I'm going to give this a little stir, and then this will be ready to go in the crock pot all day, and it will be so, so good when we come home for dinner. So I'm going to be doing some chicken burrito bowls, one of our favorites. I have my rotel with diced green chilies, And then I'm gonna add in another can of diced green chilies because I can just never get enough of these little chilies with burrito bowls and any kind of like Tex-Mex type dish. So I'm just gonna mix this in with my chicken, and that is all I'm going to add. It is so simple. And the juices of the chicken just make this not dry. So when it cooks, it'll cook in its own juices and it'll just be really great. So now that this is done, I'm just gonna shred it right in the crock pot. It just falls apart into the chicken juices and the rotel and the diced green chilies. So I'm just gonna shred it into nice small pieces, and then I'm gonna add all of my favorite burrito bowl items. So I'm gonna add in corn. So I will drain the corn. I'm gonna add in some lentils, which I just love lentils in burrito bowls. Definitely high protein and high fiber. So I washed and drained the lentils. Black beans, another high protein, high fiber that we love. So I will wash and drain the black beans. Gonna give this a big stir and mix all of these ingredients together. So you can do this as a burrito bowl like I do, or you can just use this mixture to fill into burritos as well, and that works really great also. So I'm gonna put this into my bowl. You can add some lettuce, sour cream, avocado, all of your favorites. So I'm gonna do a butter chicken, and this one is really delicious. So I have this simmer sauce, this butter chicken simmer sauce, and it is very, very good. I'm also going to add in tomato sauce, a can of evaporated milk. I have onion, and then I have my seasonings, onion powder, garlic powder, and paprika. So I have my 2 chicken breasts, and I always prep my chicken after I go to the grocery store, and I store it into my containers. So I have 2 chicken breasts that are diced up into some smaller pieces. I have half of a white onion. I'm going to add in my seasonings, about a teaspoon of each, but you can measure by your own taste. So I have paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder that I'm going to add into this. And like I said, this sauce is very good. It has a kick to it, this butter chicken simmer sauce. It definitely has a spice like any other kind of curry type Indian dish, but it is really, really good. And it's just a really big hit with our family. So I'm going to also add in some tomato sauce, and then I'll also add in the evaporated milk, and then this will be ready to go. Very simple. So all of these crockpot recipes are very easy dump and go, which I love. So you can dump all this in the crockpot in the morning before you head off for a busy day, and you don't have to spend a bunch of time in the morning prepping this. Everything is very simple. Just dump it and go, and then when you come home, you have just something awesome to eat, which is what we love. So I'm going to cook this on low for 6 hours, and it will be so tasty, and this sauce is just really, really good. So I'm of course going to make a side of rice because rice is so perfect with this sauce. It just makes it just great. You can also do a side of veggies and a side salad as well. We do a lot of side salads. So, but this one is really, really good. And the sauce is just a perfect creaminess, just a really good texture as well. So I'm going to add this in with my rice, and it is awesome, awesome. Just absolutely love it. And super simple, just very dump and go. So you don't have to prep too much. Just cut up the chicken and pour everything in, and you are good to go. And this one is just awesome. So I'm going to be doing this garlic parmesan chicken, and I have been making this a lot lately. It has been on repeat, but this sauce is a Buffalo Wild Wings brand sauce. It's got a kick to it. It's got like, I think some red pepper flakes in it that just really give it a kick. I have my cream cheese. I'm going to do half a cup of grated Parmesan, and this is going to be so creamy and has like, it's like a thick sauce, which is just awesome with the cream cheese and the grated Parmesan. So this comes out so good. So I'm going to give it a stir. I'm just going to kind of break up that cream cheese. So any cream cheese dish, you definitely have to give them a stir or a whisk to break up those kind of little clumps, but you just stir it for a little bit and it starts to come out nice and creamy. So I'm going to break up my chicken pieces a little bit so that everything can get coated with this really awesome sauce, because this sauce is just, it's so good. And like I said, it's nice and thick, which is great. So just coat it in all that chicken. And you can do any kind of side you'd like. I love these protein noodles, have been one of my favorites. So I have some chicken. Again, this is going to be Marry Me chicken, and it is definitely a yummy one. And anything with cream cheese is for sure a huge hit. So I have my chicken breast diced up, a brick of cream cheese. I have half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and I have some ranch seasoning just from the ranch mix. I have bacon, and this is just a really good comfort food for sure. I have 2 cups of my chicken broth, and then this is ready to go. It is just really easy and really just delicious with the bacon and the cheese and the ranch for sure. So I'm gonna whisk that sauce to make sure it's all nice and creamy and is good to go. So I'm gonna spoon it over my rice because, again, the sauce is just way too good. So you'll want to spoon that sauce all over the rice for sure. You could use pasta as well. So I'm going to be doing some chicken drumsticks. I think this is one of my favorite ways to do chicken drumsticks. So I'm going to pat each one kind of dry and place it into my crock pot. And this is such a simple way, and they just cook all day, become perfectly cooked, nice and tender. And my kids love drumsticks, but I just don't love making them. So putting them in the crock pot is so easy, and they are a huge hit. So I'm just going to put them all in here. I'm just going to keep layering them up, keep patting each one a little bit dry. And then once they are all in, you can add in all of your favorite seasonings. So I'm just going to season it up. I'm going to add in some olive oil, and then all of our seasonings, and then this will be ready to go. So I cook these in the crock pot for 6 to 8 hours on low, and then at the end of the day, if you want that skin to be a little bit crispy, I put them on a baking mat, and I put them in the oven and put them on broil. So you're just going to broil them for a few minutes, and that gets the skin nice and crispy and just absolutely perfect. So this is my favorite seasoning. It's called Cow Camp. It is just perfect for chicken, and we use it a lot on tri-tip and everything. So these drumsticks are all done. They are fall off the bone, delicious, seasoned perfectly. So like I said, I'm going to add them onto my cookie sheet and put them in the oven and broil them so that the skin gets crispy, and then these are a huge hit. Definitely a very easy way to make drumsticks, and drumsticks take a long time to cook. That's why they're so perfect to cook them in the crock pot. So this is a chicken pot pie in the crock pot. I have my frozen mixed vegetables. I use this better than bouillon to make my chicken broth. I have sour cream. I have cream of chicken, potato, onion, and my diced up chicken. I have 2 chicken breasts diced up. And I'm going to add everything into my crock pot. And then I'm going to make a biscuit once I'm done, and then that will go on top, and it'll be kind of make it more of that chicken pot pie feeling. But all of these flavors with the mixed vegetables and the cream of chicken really just give this an awesome flavor and make this so good and just like a chicken pot pie. So I have my 2 cans of cream of chicken, 2 cups of chicken broth. I have my frozen mixed vegetables. So I'm going to do 2 cups of these frozen mixed vegetables, and they're just really easy. You can definitely chop up your own carrots. You can do corn and green beans as well, but the frozen ones, definitely very convenient. I have my potato that I have diced up. I have my onion that is diced up as well. And then this is just a really awesome comfort food, and we just love it. This is a huge hit, and it's just kind of like a one pot meal, which is so great. Like I mentioned in one of the other recipes, I love having the veggies in the crock pot as well, because then everything is just ready to go when the crock pot is done, when you come home after a long day. So this is gonna cook, and then once it is done, I'm gonna add in the sour cream at the very end, and then that'll make this even creamier and just give this a really wonderful taste. Sour cream is just great in this, definitely gives it just a very good rich flavor. So giving this a stir, it's a really good like thick gravy on this one, which is really great. So while this is just finishing up, you can put in your Grand's biscuits into the oven if you would like. They're definitely optional, and then you can just add one on top like I have, and that's how we like to eat this dish. It is very good. So I'm going to be doing this next one is going to be meatballs, which we love, that I mentioned in the last meatball recipe, but this is going to be enchilada meatballs, and this is awesome. So I have my frozen meatballs, I have my enchilada sauce, so use your favorite enchilada sauce, whichever it is. I have some shredded Monterey Jack cheese that I'm going to put on top, and this is so easy. So you can cook this on high for 4 hours or on low for about 6 hours, and then it will be ready to go. So the cheese is nice and melted and so good with the enchilada sauce and the meatballs. I'm going to serve it with a side of brown rice and a side salad, and then this is really yummy and just so much flavor with the enchilada sauce, and I just love anything topped with cheese as well, so this one's definitely one of my favorites. I'm going to make a crack chicken for this one, and it is really good. Cream of chicken, shredded cheddar cheese, chicken broth, ranch seasoning, some bacon bit pieces, and this one's a huge hit. So I have my diced up chicken, 2 chicken breasts just diced up into some smaller pieces. I have my brick of cream cheese that I will place into the crock pot as well, and then the cream cheese is just so rich and makes the sauce on this so creamy and great. So I love serving it with a side of rice or pasta to really get that yummy sauce. A can of cream of chicken. I'm using a tablespoon of ranch seasoning, which I love anything with ranch or ranch seasoning. It is one of my favorites. 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. I have a cup of chicken broth, and like I said, this one, the sauce is just so great on this. I have some bacon bits, so make sure that you're using cooked bacon. I've just bought the bacon bits already made, or you can definitely cook your own bacon as well. But add in some bacon bits because everything with bacon is delicious. So I'm going to cook this on low for 6 hours. You can do on high for 4 hours if you'd like, and it is just turns out amazing. I'm going to do a spaghetti squash with meatballs and spaghetti sauce, and this is such a great way to cook spaghetti squash. I'm going to use this no sugar added sauce, which is my favorite. So a spaghetti squash is so perfect this time of year. It's nice and in season. So I am just going to cut it open, and I am going to clean out the center. It has all kind of the seeds and kind of stringy center. So I'm gonna clean this out with my melon baller. You can use a regular spoon, but I have found that the melon baller works really great on this because it has that sharp edge and really helps you get out all of those seeds and everything you need to get out. So I'll clean up the second one as well. I'm gonna add the spaghetti squash into the bottom of the crock pot. And spaghetti squash takes a while to cook in the oven, so cooking in the crock pot is just really great to save on heating up that kitchen. And so I'm going to add in my no sugar added spaghetti sauce onto the sides. I'm going to add in my meatballs as well on top of the sauce. And then once this is done cooking, the whole meal is ready to go, which is just really great. Just a total dump and go, easy meal that is absolutely delicious when it is done. So spaghetti squash is just such a great alternative for regular spaghetti, and it comes out so good. I love how like stringy it is, and definitely so healthy also. So definitely one of my favorites. It just comes out perfect. So I'm going to be doing a fajita chicken. So I have my chicken, I have my bell peppers. You can use any kind of bell pepper you like. I have a green and orange, which they're my favorite of the bell pepper colors. I have my onion that all sliced up and my olive oil. I'm also going to add in my fajita seasoning, but this is a really great way to make fajitas. They just come out really good, and you can just set this and go and then have some really awesome fajitas at the end of the day. So you can use your favorite fajita sauce. This one that I'm using is just really great. I'm going to give it a little toss to get that seasoning coated with everything, and then this will be ready to go. So I'm going to cook this on low for 6 hours, and it turns out really, really good. You can put it on a tortilla, or I'm just going to have it with some rice and beans tonight, but you can definitely make a tortilla fajita out of this, add on some cheese and sour cream and everything else. So I'm going to be doing a teriyaki chicken. I love Sweet Baby Ray's sauces. This is their teriyaki sauce. It is just a really good marinade and just delicious. Anything teriyaki we're huge hits of. So I'm going to add in a can of pineapple. I've drained the pineapple juice, but just an awesome combination with the teriyaki and the pineapple. Comes out so good, and just a really big hit. We're just big teriyaki fans. So I'm doing a side of zucchini for this. I'll also do a side of rice, and this will be ready to go at the end of the day. So very, very easy with tons of flavor and just a really huge hit for our whole family. Anything the whole family loves is a win for me because my kids don't love everything. So this is just a huge hit. So I make this one quite often, and I love like the little teriyaki sauce over the rice is just perfect. So I'm going to do a garlic parmesan chicken with, I'm going to do some veggies on top of this one. So like I mentioned before, I love doing a veggie that it's all cooked together, so everything is done. I'm adding in some heavy whipping cream into my bottle and just gonna shake that up to get all of this delicious sauce out of the bottle and make this sauce just even creamier with the heavy whipping cream. So super good. I'm gonna do some grated Parmesan, half a cup, and this sauce is delicious. It has got so much flavor, and I just make it all the time. So I'm going to give this a big stir, coat the chicken with the sauce, and then I'm going to now add my veggies. So I'm going to do green beans for this one. Green beans just cook really well in the crock pot and just come out perfect when the chicken is done. So everything will be ready all at the same time. I'm adding on my favorite seasoning, like vegetable seasoning that I use for everything. And I'm going to cook this on low for 6 hours, and then we are ready. So I just love having everything in one pot, just dump and go, and then this is ready. So here it is all done. Steam, obviously very steamy coming out. And so here's the chicken on the bottom. I'll move the green beans over so we can see, but it has really awesome sauce. I have my noodles that I love with this Parmesan chicken, but this one is just really good with that creamy, creamy sauce. So I'm going to make some cheesy chicken and rice. I have my diced up chicken. I have a tablespoon of minced garlic. I have an onion that I will add. I'm just going to do half of the onion diced up. I have my better than bouillon that I will use for my chicken broth. So I'm using 4 cups of the chicken broth. I have my cream of chicken soup that I will add in, and that makes this even creamier. I have my rice, and I'm using a brown rice blend, and I'm doing 2 cups of rice. So I'm gonna put this on top of everything, gonna give it a stir to make sure everything is mixed. And this is really good, and it just has so much flavor. So I'm going to cook this on low for 6 hours, and now that it is done here, I'm going to give it a stir, but the rice is nice and cooked, and this is going to set up and the sauce is going to thicken as well. So I'm going to add 1 cup of cheese on top, and I'm going to put this lid back on and let this melt. It'll take about half an hour, and then it is ready to go. So good. The cheese just makes it absolutely delicious. But like I said, it will set up to be thicker when you have leftovers. So this makes a big serving. So the leftovers will definitely be set up quite a bit. But chicken, rice, everything together is just wonderful. I'm going to do a taco pasta. So I have my taco meat already made up. It's actually ground turkey with taco seasoning. I'm going to make my chicken broth with my better than bouillon. You can use beef broth also for sure on this one. I have a can of diced tomatoes that I will add in, and this is going to come out really good. We love anything with taco flavorings, but this is my favorite Southwest blend frozen veggies, so I will add those in as well. So I'm going to give everything a stir, and this will be just perfect. And we just love anything with these kinds of Southwest flavors. I'm going to cook this on low for 6 hours, and then I'm going to add in some noodles to make this a pasta. And the noodles are just going to cook in here in the crock pot with this hot liquid that has been cooking all day. And I'm just going to use elbows. You can use any kind you would like, but these elbows turn out really great. So I'm going to pour those in and put my lid back on. After I add in a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, I'm doing a Fiesta blend, but this is going to make this nice and cheesy and just perfect. So you can stir it in if you'd like, and it's really good. So I'm going to put the lid back on, and you can check it every 30 minutes to see how it is doing. So it has soaked up all the liquid, and it's got some nice cooked pasta, and this one is just amazing. This is a huge hit. So I hope you enjoyed all of these Crockpot recipes. I love using Crockpot in the summertime, so these are just perfect. If you're new to my channel, make sure you click subscribe. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I will see you in my next video.